This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
All right, Flames Nation, welcome to Orlando. Liberty wrapping up its first of three practices here at the First Academy in preparation for the FBC Mortgage Cure Bowl, and we're visiting now here with the head coach, Hugh Freeze. And, Coach, let's talk a little bit about National Signing Day because that obviously is a big deal here today as well, and you've been having to navigate that along with the bowl game preparation. But the good news is, looked like you got most of your kids signed up before you got out here to practice today. That was the goal, right?
That definitely was the goal. I think all 19 that we anticipated, coming with us today have. Whether or not they're all verified yet, I'm not exactly sure. I have to wait for compliance to give me they're all verified. I'm getting word now they're all verified. So we got the 19 that we anticipated and had to battle a little bit on one or two of them in the long hours of the night. But we got them across the finish line and just really excited about those young men and their families that have chosen to continue helping us build here at Liberty.
I think it was 9 or 10 mid-year enrollees that I counted out of this bunch of 19 as well. How much of an advantage is that getting those kids in January?
Huge. It's when they come into fall camp, they're not like a freshman or a new enrollee where they don't know what's going on. They've already had a spring with Dom and already had an academic semester under their belt and how to manage that, and all been in our system for a semester, been through spring ball, know the verbiage and terminology. So I think it's a huge advantage.
Let's talk about here as well some of the kids that you were able to get from North Carolina and from Georgia and Virginia. It was pretty much those three states that you were most heavy on. Was there a rhyme or reason to that, or is that just kind of how it played out?
Well, it's still early in my tenure, and I'm still trying to figure out where do we spend our time, resources, and obviously we'll go anywhere for players that fit with Liberty. And, we got one from, I think, Minnesota and Chicago. So we'll always have a few of those outliers. But I do believe that the primary footprint kind of starts in Georgia up the East Coast to the D.C., Pennsylvania area and Pittsburgh. That's kind of what I believe right now. We'll go to JUCOs, obviously, at different places. But as far as spending time in the high schools, building relationships, I think that's the footprint that I see kind of being the main spots that we're in.
Went heavy on the defensive side of the ball here as well. You got 5 defensive linemen, 5 defensive backs, a couple of linebackers as well, and then 4 offensive linemen also. Did you hit all the key spots right there that you were aiming to hit?
I think so. Our key spots on offense were offensive line. For whatever rhyme or reason, who knows, but the numbers were skewed, and I don't like having to take, we really have a couple more spots for our offensive line that we're going to hold and try to get either a late out JUCO guy or a transfer guy at that spot. And got one for another linebacker also in the same, but we intentionally wanted to hold those. But really offensively, priority was offensive line. I love the young kids we signed. I think they're going to be really good players. And then defensively, you had to do the same thing with the defensive line. And really every position on defense had some needs, and I think we addressed them pretty well at this mid-year signing point.
Let's talk about some of the specific guys here. Ahmad Jackson, a receiver, 3-star kid from Georgia, and also had an offer from Ole Miss as well. That's always fun to pull away from the Power Fives. But Ahmad Jackson, what's he going to bring to the program at receiver?
Yeah, I love big receivers, and he's that. He's big, he's rangy, he's put together. Got great ball skills, great family. Was adopted by a great couple. And just think he's a really good fit for us. And Maurice had a relationship with him from our Ole Miss days in recruiting, and that kind of paid some dividends for us when we came here.
And then Sean Brown at quarterback, another 3-star kid from North Carolina, pro-style quarterback.
Yeah, he runs it decent enough for us to do some quarterback runs should we need to. But the priority will always be throwing and accuracy for us at quarterback. And if we can add a few runs in, that's great. But we definitely would rather have a guy that's accurate and can throw, which we think Sean will develop into.